Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar organized by WeUni in partnership with Católica-Lisbon. Today we are here to discover actually Católica-Lisbon. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. I would like to welcome all of you. Of course, feel free to say hi in our chat here in Zoom, and we are curious to know also where you're from. So if you want, please tell us in the chat. So, first of all, I would like to thank you all for being with us today and thank our panelists for being here with us today. As you can see here, I'm not alone. I'm here with Margarita Branco, the admission specialist, and
Hello.
Malleroni. She's also
Hi.
a specialist from Católica Lisbon. So, hello, hi, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Together with them today, you're gonna get a closer look at what makes Católica Lisbon a top-ranked European business school. So you're gonna meet, of course, admissions team for this webinar, and you're gonna discover everything about the Master of Science programs, how to apply, and what it's like to study and live in Lisbon. So wherever you're connecting from, this is your chance to ask questions to these two beautiful girls and to get personalized insights before applying. Talking about questions, I would like to mention that at the end of this webinar, we will dedicate some minutes to answer all your questions. So don't be shy and just type all of your questions in the Q&A section here, and we'll go through them at the end of this session. Also, another important information for you, if you're interested in receiving the certificate of attendance, you can click on the link that we will share with you at the end of this session and request a certificate. I see some people that is joining and that is writing in the chat, someone from Lithuania, but actually from Nigeria, but residing in Lithuania for studies. So welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. As I was saying at the beginning, we are here with Católica Lisbon. It's a pleasure to host this beautiful webinar to talk about this university and the educational offer. So since I see so many people joining, I would like to welcome you all. And I think that without further ado, I can now leave the floor to Margarita and Carolina for the presentation. So enjoy this webinar and see you later. Margarita, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Carolina, for the introduction. I will be starting the session now, joined by my colleague Margarida. We're going to be talking to you today a little bit about, of course, Católica Lisbon, the school we represent, and our programs, what we offer, and also if you're interested in applying, what should you consider during your application. So we'll be covering a lot of topics. So, of course, what is the Católica Lisbon experience? What and where is our school? Of course, we'll be talking about our programs. We offer a lot of international opportunities. So we know we're talking, of course, to an international audience. So we know that this would be an international opportunity for you. And we also offer you a lot of different international opportunities throughout our program. We'll also be covering a little bit about career. So what do our students do after they join a program? Where do they go? What are their options? And of course, at the end, we'll cover the application process for anybody interested. I'll reinforce the idea that you can always ask any questions you have in the chat. We'll be answering them as we go. And then, of course, in the end, we'll also cover those in the Q&A session. So a little bit about our school. So of course, Católica Lisbon is located in Lisbon, as the name indicates. Of course, we're located right in the center of the city. So that means that the school itself is very well connected to the network that exists in Lisbon. We are a business school. So of course, we offer a lot of business related programs, and being located in the center of Lisbon helps with the networking skills and tools that we also offer our students. We are globally connected. So as I said, we offer a lot of international opportunities and we have a lot of international students. So most of our cohorts, most of our students come from abroad. We have over 70% of international students studying here with us. So I would say that if you come from abroad, if you come from a different country, you would have no difficulty integrating our programs. So I think it's a great asset that we are a very multinational school. We also pride ourselves in the experience that our students have here during their master's program. We understand that there's a lot of different types of experiences in master's program, and ours, we like to give students a really well connected and sort of small community so that students can connect with each other and really talk to their peers, really form those bonds and those connect to those people who will be later on being part of their networks. So we like to call ourselves a human-sized school because we are located in the center of Lisbon. Of course, our campus is quite compact, and we tend to all be in one building. And of course, we have an open door policy, so we pride ourselves in really connecting with the students and making sure that students feel that they have an open door to ask any questions, whether it's with faculty, staff, any problem that students may have. They can just come knock on our doors, and we'll be happy to help. And of course, that makes for a very tight-knit community. So the fact that we are quite a small school in terms of dimension, and the fact that we have small class sizes means that everybody sort of knows each other, and the professors really try to connect with each student individually, not just speak to a wide audience of students. And so that's really the experience that we want students to have here in our school.
Okay, so a little bit about the core of what we have here in the masters, which are our programs. We have 9 programs within these 4 areas. So management, I will explain a little bit further down throughout the presentation about each of these programs that we have, but we have in the area of management, area of finance, economics, and business analytics, a little bit more related to data. And all of our programs are normally 3 to 4 semesters full time, taught in English as well, and we have a fall intake. Okay, so we start August, September each year. So unfortunately, we don't have a summer intake. We just have a fall intake. Take that into account if you're planning your studies for next year. But as I said, it's a full-time program for recent graduates. We have 2 special programs that are a little bit different, but I will explain. Our student profile for our students to be eligible, normally they're, as I said, recent graduates, normally 21 to 26 years old, students who have already finished their bachelor's or recently finished their bachelor's, who have a quantitative background, for example, in management, finance, economics, or even areas that include like courses like statistics, quantitative methods, mathematics, among others. Okay, and since we are looking for recent graduates, most of them have less than 3 years of experience, whether it be within the fields or with other activities. The only 2 programs that are a little bit different, which means that the eligibility for these programs is different, is the MSc in Business, which is meant for a recent graduate, but with a background that is different. It's not quantitative. We have students from, for example, nursing, health, tourism, languages, communication, sports management. So this is for students who didn't have a quantitative background when in their bachelor. For the finance post-experience program, this is meant for not so recent graduates. So normally it's from students with ages from like 27 to 30, okay, with between 3 to 5 years of experience that are interested in this area of finance, and I'll explain a little bit further about these special programs. To start, we have one of our biggest programs in terms of employability after the program, which is the MSc in Economics. This program is a little bit theoretical and practical, okay? We offer 5 specializations that you can choose, which means that you're going to have obviously core courses in economics, but then you're going to have courses related to the specialization that you choose, whether it be macroeconomic policy, economic theory. This makes the program a little bit more theoretical. Finance and banking. This is if you want to incorporate a little bit of finance within the economics program, okay? Applied economics, this one makes the program a little bit more practical. And then we have the flexible track, which allows the students to fully personalize their schedule and the courses and the program itself. So normally, this is one of the ones that students choose because it really gives a lot of freedom for students to be able to study exactly what they want and maybe experiment with other courses. This program will prepare you to deal with real cases and with data as well to help you improve in decision making. And with this, we try to incorporate a little bit of data and programming in the program, like R, Stata, Python, because we understand that companies now use a lot of data, especially also in this field of economics. So we want you to be fully prepared when you enter the job market and be able to have these skills beforehand. This program besides an exchange semester that you can do with all of the programs, this program also offers opportunity to do a double degree if you like. So which means that you're going to do a 1 year here, 1 year in a partner school, and you end up with 2 master diplomas. But we will talk a little bit about the double degrees further down the line. Next, we have our MSc in Business Analytics. This joins a little bit with the data that we talked about in economics. This is mainly a data analysis program related to business and companies. Okay, so it's a very practical program. It helps you design solutions based on real business challenges. So we really try to make it as real as possible to you guys. We know that some people might not be yet familiarized with programming languages, but that's totally fine. There's no need to have a previous knowledge. Obviously, if you do, that's very good. But if you don't, we will help you understand and work with platforms like Stata, SQL, R, Python, and among other programming languages, so that you'll be able to then work in this and take that into your profile and be able to enter the job market with as much platforms as you can and be able to adapt to any culture or company that you're going to. As I said, it's very applied. There's a lot of projects that companies come to Católica and present their data, and you will work with real data in real time. So it's a very hands-on program, and it has also had a very good placement in the job market because we are keeping up with the updates in these areas that are happening currently in the market. So you'll be very up to date to what you can do with data in companies, whether it be consulting, whether it be analysis, or whether it be a market analyst, among others. So don't worry, you'll be fully prepared. And even if you don't know anything beforehand, here is the best place to start if you're looking to get into data. Okay?
Okay, now I'll be covering a little bit about the management related programs. So we have three different management programs. The first one is the International Master of Science in Management. This, like another program we have, which is the International Finance Program, these two different programs are a little bit different in terms of their requirements and in terms of the opportunities that they offer. Because they are international programs, of course, they have the purpose of these programs is to give students the opportunity to think of their path and their career in more international aspects. So, do you want to have an international career? Do you want to work abroad? Do you want to work in an international setting or have a more global focus in your job? Then I think the international program is a great starting point for you. So, this program has four different specializations. The first one is corporate finance. So if you want to have a bit more of a finance focus in the management program, you can also specialize in marketing, entrepreneurship and innovation, and of course, strategy and consulting. So the idea is that, of course, you can graduate with a very global perspective, but at the same time, we want you to be as specialized and um, as well versed in each area as possible. All of our programs are quite flexible, so you're always able to choose electives as you please, and you're able to carve your own path in that way. So don't worry about these specializations and being concerned about being, I guess, locked into one thing. You can always explore different things, and the way we encourage you to explore these things is through, of course, international opportunities that we offer. Of course, all programs offer international opportunities. The international programs do so just a little bit more. The International Management Program, for example, offers you the possibility of doing a double degree. So just like the economics program, the double degree is an opportunity for you to spend 1 year at Católica Lisbon, 1 year abroad, and this allows you to, of course, study in two different universities and receive two different diplomas, but at the same time specialize and maybe study different things, even though, of course, management related, you get to have one experience at Católica Lisbon and then have a different, completely separate experience at a separate school. So that if you want to explore different things within the same program, the double degree option is one that's great for you. Of course, you can always have other international opportunities if the double degree is not something you're looking for. Every program offers you the possibility of doing an exchange semester, and that's always something that you're free to do if you want to. And of course, the internship abroad, which is an option for all programs. It's slightly different with the international management program as it's a requirement, not necessarily that it's an internship that you need to do abroad, but the international program has three different requirements in order for you to graduate with this program. So you don't need to have these requirements fulfilled at the time of application. You just need to have these fulfilled before you graduate from the master's program. And those are an internship requirement, an international requirement, and a third language requirement. So throughout the program, our expectation is that students have some sort of professional experience with the internship, they have some sort of international experience, and then they also have that more international aspect of being able to speak one more language other than English and their mother tongue. So that's one thing that differentiates the international programs from what we call the normal programs. But of course, you can always do an internship abroad with any program that we offer. Another interesting thing about the international programs is that they offer study trips. So study trips happen usually once a year, and students basically get to go abroad and visit different companies and see how the companies work and speak to the executives there, speak to the people who are working there, and get to have a real sense of what it's like to work in one of those companies. So it gives you that real world experience in the program. So I think that's a great aspect of this program. And then, of course, we have other management related programs, not just the international one. We have one specialization program in strategy, entrepreneurship, and impact. And this is for everybody who wants to maybe have a bit more of an entrepreneurial path after the program. So if you want to create your own company, be your own employer, your own boss, so to speak, this program is a great way for you to know how to manage that situation. So it is in management. It is a specialization program, but of course, as I said, all programs offer you the possibility of making it your own. So you can always choose different electives that are outside of your specialization. So of course, you'll have core management courses. You'll have core elective courses. So you'll have specialization courses, but then you'll have free electives. As for international opportunities, even though you won't be able to do the double degree, you'll always be able to have other international opportunities. So you'll have the exchange semester, which is always available for students to take, and of course the internship as well. And then we have another specialization program, which is in strategic marketing. The strategic marketing specialization is, of course, for those who want to have a more management approach to marketing and maybe create or connect the more creative with the more entrepreneurial aspect of marketing. Again, very flexible course. You can create your own program as you please with the free electives, and with the international opportunities, of course, you'll be able to go on the exchange semester and the internship if you'd like. And then I would say this is one of the most different programs that we offer. As my colleague Margarida mentioned in the beginning, there are two different programs that require different student profiles, and this is one of them. It's the Master of Science in Business. So it's a program that's designed exactly for people who don't come from a management background or don't come from a finance background, don't have those quantitative foundations, especially those related to business areas that are usually required to pursue a master's in business. But the idea is that students that come from different areas are able to put their skills and their tools together and really create something different and have different visions for the program. So it creates a very diverse cohort of students. So the program will give you all of the foundations that you maybe didn't have during your bachelor. So it'll give you the foundations in accounting, the foundations in management, the foundations in statistics, all of the things that would be required for a business program, this program offers students. And then, of course, all of the perks of being quite flexible programs and the internship as well as the exchange semester are always available. So you can specialize and you can actually maybe even go deeper into the interests that you had before the program. If you're in the health area, maybe some exchange schools offer the possibility of taking courses in health management, for example. So those two things can be combined, and you can actually take your background and combine it with a more business focus.
Entering our final area, which is finance, we have three programs. We have the International MSc in Finance, which is, as Carolina mentioned, with the management program, it's a very international focused program. This is for students who are definitely looking for an international outlook for their career in the area of finance, obviously. As Carolina said, there are some requirements to complete this program, but they can be done fully within the program itself. You don't have to have them before coming. And this program differentiates, itself from others because it not only is a very finance focused program, but also we try to input a lot of data related to finance. For example, we have a course called Python for Finance, and among others that allow you to really specialize and understand what's going on outside in the market and be able to understand it and be able to be prolific in it, or some languages that you might need to use when you're entering your new job. Okay, this is a very recognized program. As is the international management, they are both ranked in the Financial Times, and especially for international companies, not only here in Portugal but abroad, in the finance markets, the financial markets. This our students have had a lot of success with it, thank God. So I think if you're looking into finance and you really want to have an international outlook within your career, then this would be a great course. You can also have the opportunity to prepare for the CFA level 1, okay? If you, for example, don't come specifically from an area of finance, or you come from management or other quantitative backgrounds that it's not finance, we offer some pre-courses that you can do online before starting the program that give you a little bit of an introduction so you don't feel lost when starting the finance program. This is a very workload, has a heavy workload. This program normally is a little bit more, students say it's a little bit more stressful because it has you do a lot of stuff. You have a lot of projects to do. You have a lot of companies visiting. So it's very hands-on, and really students say they're always studying or always preparing for a presentation because we try to be as practical as possible and be able to give you all of the skills and tools necessary. So once you leave or once you finish this first year of courses, you feel totally prepared to enter the job market and be able to enter in positions that require a little bit more skill and more insight. Okay, as Carolina said, since this is an international program, you can also apply for a double degree, okay, with any of our partner schools that we have available. And obviously exchange semester if you want, and obviously the opportunity to do a study trip, which is very insightful, especially in terms of creating a bigger network and contacting with other companies from other countries. So this is a very big plus that our students really like in this program. Then we have the MSc in Finance. This is if students are looking for a more focused or a more specific program, okay? Because we offer the opportunity to specialize either in corporate finance or financial markets. You don't have to make this choice already in the beginning. You can fill around in the program and see what area you're looking forward to the most, or you're interested in doing the most. We allow you to really pick and choose and be prepared to take this decision. But this allows you to specialize and focus in certain areas that you think will be helpful in terms of your career. You can also do a preparation for the CFA level 1. You can also do the pre-courses. This is for all finance programs, and obviously the Microsoft Excel certification in the end that you will receive from Católica. You can also do an exchange semester as other programs if you want to put a little bit of more international outlook without doing the international finance program. The MSc Post Experience, this is our last program to present today, but it's pretty simple. It's pretty similar to the MSc in Finance, but as I said in the beginning, is meant for a little bit more mature students who are already in the job market, who have already been working. This course is only 14 months, okay? So a little bit more than a year. This one unfortunately doesn't allow for an exchange semester because we try to make it as condensed as possible so that people that were working then don't have to stop for a long time before re-entering the job market. This also offers the opportunity to do a specialization, whether it be corporate finance or financial markets, but your cohort, even if the program is similar to the MSc in Finance, your cohort will be similar to you and to your experience, okay? Your colleagues will be in the same boat as you. They will have more or less the same amount of experience. So the students, this cohort of students is a little bit more specialized. The way that the teachers or the professors interact within classes is a little bit different because it's people who already been working. There's special events as well for these students because it's a different market of students and it's a different outlook that these students have. So we differentiate it from the MSc in Finance program. Obviously, you also, as I said, have all those opportunities to do the CFA pre-courses and the Excel certification. It's in terms of programs and the course itself is very similar to MSc in Finance, but the treatment and the approach in classes is very different. Okay, so this were all of our programs. If you have any questions, specific questions about the programs, about the requirements for the international programs, about the double degree, don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A section, and we will answer all of them in the end.
So now that we're done with the programs, we also want to talk to you a little bit about all the other things that you can do in your program here. Of course, I've already mentioned, and my colleague Margarita has as well, we've already mentioned international opportunities. Those are obvious. We want students to have as full and as complete experience as possible. And we know that sometimes it's also important to connect different universities, different people going to different countries. And so we offer that with our international opportunities, either doing the double degree. As we said, we have double degree partnerships. So each program that offers a double degree rather, it has different partnerships with different schools. So you won't find all the same double degrees with the same programs. But I would say in general, we have double degree partnerships with ESCP, with Bocconi, with Smith, with BI, with FGV in Brazil. So really, I would invite you to visit our website or even contact us to get more information about each double degree if you'd like. And of course, the exchange semester. This is really not something, and we'll touch on this subject later on when we talk about the application. But this is not something that you necessarily need to think about now. You'll have plenty of time if you decide to come study with us. So you'll have plenty of time to think about if you want to do an exchange semester and where you want to do an exchange semester. But we encourage you to do this and to take this opportunity or even think about it because I think we consider it to be a great addition to your profile. It'll open your mind and it'll have you connect with different people and different universities, different ways of thinking. So it's always a plus to have this experience even before you join the job market. So it's your last chance to really have that international student experience. And to do so with really well established and great partner schools. Of course, the internship is always a plus, and I'll talk about this later on. We have a careers and office careers and talents office here to help you with this, and you'll have plenty of career support, of course. But we know that your search for jobs and your search for internships will start here while you're doing your master's. So we think it's a great way for you to start entering the job market by doing an internship. And if you can do so abroad, that's even better. Of course, for the international programs, we have the study trips, and we offer that opportunity, of course, to students to have the real world connection to companies and to see what it's really like to work in one of those. As I was mentioning, so of course we know that you're going to pursue the program. You're going to do so here at Católica or somewhere else. But then, of course, you're going to start thinking about your career, start thinking about what you're going to do next, and you need to really start thinking about that while you're in the program. And we are fully aware of that. So our idea is that we offer career support from the moment you enter Católica Lisbon. So the moment you start here as a student, you get what we call a career consultant, which is someone who's going to be assigned to you to basically talk to you about your goals. What are you interested in? What subjects are you most impacted by or most interested? What would you see yourself doing after you complete the program, and how does that change throughout the program? So of course we know that things are not static. You'll always be able to change and you'll always be able to explore, but it's great to have that contact with the careers and talent office so that they can give you the feedback of what the job market is like, what companies are looking for. So they really have that expertise and they have those insights and they can share those with you while you're doing the program. So you get to always be in contact with them. They'll also be included in your study plan. So there'll be certain ECTSs and certain points that you'll have to earn that are career related points. So we, of course, have the Career Accelerator Lab, where you'll have a lot of workshops and networking events that'll allow you to basically talk to a lot of companies and recruiters and get a sense of what the job market is like at the moment and for your specific area, of course. This results in a great employability rate. All of our students, of course, are employed within 3 months, or more than 90%, I should say, are employed within 3 months of completing the program, which is great. Most of them do so either here in Portugal, where they want to stay and work, or of course go back to their home country, or even work abroad in a third country that they decided to go to. So we have a high success rate, and I think that starts with the support that students get here at the school throughout the program. So that's essential for us. I believe somebody asked, and I had seen this question here before regarding success stories of alumnus. I think the best way for us to say this is that the success rate depends on, or success stories depend on each student, what they consider to be success. Some students consider success to be just working in the area that they're interested in. So we always suggest that students reach out to previous students, to alumni. So we have on our website, this is available. You can reach out to previous students to talk a little bit about what they're doing at the moment. We can also provide, of course, different contacts if you're looking for somebody in a specific area, different contacts for you to really get to know what it's like to study here and what sort of support we offer, and what they're doing at the moment. So, of course, we get students that are placed in a lot of different international and multinational companies. And I think the numbers speak for themselves. So the employability rate is very, very high. We have a lot of students starting their own companies, of course, with entrepreneurship programs, for example. And we have students fulfilling their goal of studying and going abroad to work, for example. And so these are some of the examples of companies that some of our students have gone to work. And I would say most of our students, of course, if they're interested in consulting, for example, so Deloitte, and banking, so BNP and BCG and Unilever, all of these different companies. There's really a bit of everything for everybody, but this is just a general idea of where most of our students decide to work later on.
Okay, and to finish, I will give I think most of you are interested in information about how to apply. So we have started our first round in November 3rd, and it will end on December 1st. Okay, the second round will start a day after, so December 2nd. And if you're planning on applying for the international programs and for a double degree, we really recommend applying during this first round until December 1st. Okay. Why I think our application is pretty simple. The process is pretty simple because you only need your CV in English and your transcript of records as mandatory documents. Okay. For people applying for a double degree, you will need a motivation letter for each school you apply to. Okay. Those are the only mandatory documents. I see here a question about the English certificate. There is no need for an English certificate. There is no need for proof of English. So we don't have a minimum. Obviously, we hope students understand that the program is fully taught in English. So you do have to have some advanced skills in terms of understanding and technical language as well, okay? But we do not require, as I said, we only need the CV in English and the transcript of records. A little tip for you that are here, a little special tip. For the CV, we recommend really, if you want to go to 2 pages, that's okay. We recommend really putting everything that you find valuable for your profile, okay? We have a qualitative evaluation. It's a profile-based evaluation. So your experience, your interests, what you've done in terms of volunteering, in terms of internships, in terms of work experience, international experience abroad. It's really important for us to really understand it. So be able to fully prepare your CV. We know sometimes people say your CV should only have 1 page. We are totally up to receiving 2 page CVs because we really want to understand each candidate's profile with the CV. If you want to write a motivation letter on the side to really explain your motivations, why you want to come to the program or to the school, then feel free to do so because we really try to understand each candidate and their motivations and their experience when evaluating. We do it one by one. So really make sure your CV is as complete as possible. Even interests and hobbies like sports, associations that you might be a part of, reading, going to the movies. So everything that you think helps us understand your profile a little bit better, put it in the CV, okay? The transcript of records, make sure it states the course name, the grades, and the credits that you've done until now. You don't have to have finished your bachelor, okay? But until now, put the grades, for example, if you're going to apply now, that you have until today, okay? And this can be a screenshot of your student page. It doesn't have to be an official copy from your institution or for your university, because we know sometimes that takes a little bit of time. So you can take a screenshot of your student page where you have your grades. Just make sure it has the name and the grades and the credits, okay, of each course that you take. To apply, you just have to go to our website. There's a little button that says apply. You'll enter our application platform. You just have to create an account and then start filling in the application form. It's pretty simple. But if you have any questions, always feel free to contact us and we will help you out during your application. Just towards the end, to maybe some people have a question about scholarships. We have the Católica Top Plus, which is a merit-based scholarship that can cover between 10 to 90% of the tuitions. Okay, as I said, since this is merit-based, it will be based on your GPA and your profile. Okay, so students that have a good GPA and a good profile and that jury finds interesting will maybe be offered a scholarship that can go from 10 to 90% of your tuitions. And that's why it's very important to have your CV as complete as possible so that the jury can make a really marked decision regarding your scholarship, okay? You can apply to the scholarship in the application form. There's going to be a question that says, do you want to apply for the scholarship? You just have to click yes. It's pretty simple. There's no need for other documents. And then the results will come out when the results for the program come out as well. So everything will come in the acceptance email, okay? So normally we take 2 weeks to evaluate the applications. So let's say this first round will end on December 1st, mid-December, a little bit towards the end, we will have the results and we will send it to you guys. So make sure you have this into account when you're preparing your timeline of application, okay? We understand that you're not going to maybe only apply to us, also with their schools. You will only have more or less 10 to 12 days to accept or not our offer, and you can only apply once per intake. So make sure this time or the time that you apply is really the one that you are sure that you can accept or not our offer. Okay, so as I said, just to recap, students who apply in this first round, even before the end of the year, we'll have the results and we'll have to make a decision if you want to come to Católica or not. I'm just checking here. We can start the Q&A. I don't know. We already have some questions. I'm just checking if there is any questions related to what I just said. I see here, is it okay if the transcript is not in English? if you can make it in English perfect, we understand that sometimes it's difficult. What we say is upload what you have. Okay. If we have any difficulties, we will contact you. Okay. But preferably put everything in English in your application. How long should be the motivation letter? It can be 1 page. Okay. And the CV, you can go up to 2 pages. Just make sure you have all of the information that you wish on it.
I see somebody here ask, do you need to learn Portuguese or just English is okay? English is just fine. You'll be absolutely fine living in Lisbon and studying at Católica with just English. Of course, it's always nice if you can and if you'd like to learn a bit of the language here. But you'll be absolutely fine with just English.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all the information. Today we have a really great overview, not just an overview, actually. We have some deeper information about Católica Lisbon, and we have learned so much, I think. I see some other questions in the Q&A box. Of course, I would like to remind to all the students connected that you still have time to do questions. So if you want, just type them all in the Q&A box. For example, one of the questions from Brigitta is, what is the student vibe really like on campus? Is it easy for international students to integrate or find a community, for example?
It's since we are a very international school, we get a lot of international students. So really the idea is that everybody here has come from a different country. Everybody here needs to integrate. So I would say that the experience that we have is that we see students quite quickly start making friends, start integrating themselves in different groups. We also offer those opportunities in the first few days that students come here. So we really try to reinforce that they need to really get to know each other and have as open and as I think a networking mentality as possible. But it's I would say the vibe is quite laid back. So of course it's Lisbon, so it's a very fun and a very there's a lot of things to do in Lisbon. So students usually get the opportunity to go out and explore the city with their new colleagues quite soon. When students arrive, the weather is still good, so there's a lot of things to do. Students can explore the city as they'd like. So I think that really facilitates the integrating process. And then, of course, all of the classes are taught in English. All of the classes are, um, of course, made up of students from all different corners of the world. So there's nobody here that's a stranger or that's different. Everybody here has come and has a similar background from them. So I think it's quite easy to integrate. Both in the school and in the city as well.
Thank you so much. And also talking about the vibe and the life in Lisbon, I also see a question about the cost of living. If you can give a sort of a realistic overview of the cost of living and also, for example, if the students have the possibility to work during the university, because I see some questions about the possibility of recording the session and the lessons during the university courses.
So in terms of the cost of living, I would say Lisbon is it depends on where the student is coming from, of course, and what the expectation is. Usually students ask us a lot about accommodation and where they can find accommodation. We don't necessarily have accommodation that we offer, but our international office is always very dynamic in trying to help students find accommodation here in Lisbon and one that's affordable. I would say the cost of living in Lisbon is quite similar to a lot of different countries in Europe. Of course, it's a capital. It gets to be quite expensive, but it really depends on your particular budget and what you're trying to do. I would say there's definitely a possibility of living within the means of usually any European capital. As far as the other question, it was regarding, sorry.
Sorry, it was muted.
Working,
Yeah,
working and studying at the same time.
exactly.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
I remembered. We usually don't recommend that students work and study at the same time just because of the fact that the programs are quite demanding in terms of the time that's required, both for in-class sessions and also outside of class. Professors tend to expect that students are fully available for the program. We don't necessarily have a way to really protect students should they miss any deadlines or should they have any problems with not coming to class because we don't have something to protect them in that sense. So we really discourage students from working and studying at the same time. Of course, then it depends on each person's time management skills, but we really try to say that it's please focus on the studies. We'll help you with trying to find a job for after the program, but while you're here, please just focus on school. That's what we suggest.
Thank you so much. And another interesting question, I think I've seen that Margarita already gave an answer, but maybe it could be useful to answer it live, is what kind of suggestions do you have to write a really efficient cover letter?
So normally we suggest really focusing, as it says in the name, on your motivation to come to Católica Lisbon and why the program you apply to will be the perfect like launch pad for the career you want to have. Okay, write about your motivations for wanting to come here and wanting to come to Lisbon. But I also think it's important to why your profile is unique and why your skills are unique to come here to Católica and join and be a plus to our community, okay? Really be able to showcase why you want to come and why you should be chosen to or accepted to come to our programs, okay? It's really based on what you want to do in the future, and if you really have those ideas, really just explain to us why you would be a great fit.
Perfect, thank you so much. And also talking about the language, we already mentioned the eventual certification of English and the possibility to just speak English and attend the courses. But a student is asking if you also have courses of for Portuguese, maybe to, you know,
Yes. So, a little bit in line to the requirements for the international programs. There's the third language requirement, as Carolina mentioned before. Students can do this in the program, but because we offer language courses, okay, that students can take while they're doing the program. So it's inserted in their schedule. And obviously, we have Portuguese, we have Spanish, we have Italian, we have French, we have German, I believe. And if any student is interested in any other language, they can present it to the board and maybe be able to build that course as well. So we do offer a lot of opportunities, not only for the students that want to fulfill the third language requirements, they could do it by just doing our language courses within the program, or if students are looking to learn Portuguese, they can join the language course. But I would suggest if you really want to learn like full Portuguese to be able to really understand the language, these courses might be little time during the week or during you'll have not a lot of classes. Maybe invest in a language or a language company or a language school to learn Portuguese, okay? But don't worry, it's not necessary to be able to speak Portuguese to live your life in Lisbon or to be able to experience Lisbon as a local. Okay, there's a lot of people speaking English, even older people have that accessibility in supermarkets, in stores, in the transportations, metro, train. So it's really easy to move around in Lisbon with just English, okay? So no need to worry.
thank you so much. And also, I see another question about the specialization. Do you suggest study business in general, or is better to specialize in a field?
I think this is a good question. I know students sometimes they don't know what to choose because it's a very big, important decision. But the main thing is if you want to learn the general of, for example, management in this case, if you want to learn the general, I would recommend the international management. You will also be able to then pick and choose a specialization that you find more interesting, okay? And then there's a lot of elective courses that you can do in all of the programs that you can, for example, you're in management, you can take an elective course from finance. So it's since the program is so personalized, I would not worry a lot about which specialization to choose or which classes you're going to have or which courses you're going to have because they're very personalized to what you want. But if you want a big outlook in management, then international management. Okay, if you're really focused, for example, in the entrepreneurship routes, then the strategy, entrepreneurship, and impact program is very, very good. Even the professors and the people that come here to teach the classes are in the entrepreneurial world, so they will have all of the contacts. Themselves will be a contact, and you're going to have a lot of people with experience in the area. So if you're really interested in that part of building a strategy, even if not for yourself, but for companies, being able to do a lot of consulting, or even creating your own business, then the strategy, entrepreneurship, and impact program would be a very big plus, not only in terms of network, but the experience that you're going to learn here in the program. Okay. We have a lot of students that even build their own brands. We have a Portuguese student that created a socks brand that's very famous now in Portugal. So we have a lot of even our alumni that studied in this program have already created their own business endeavors. And if you want to go a little bit more of marketing, merchandise, communication, publicity, then the strategic marketing program would be a very big plus and a very good choice. Okay. If you're still indecisive, maybe go to the international and then do a specialization in other courses. But if you really know in which area you want to focus, then I would recommend the specialized programs.
Thank you so much. And also, I would like to remind to all the students connected that, of course, you still have time to do questions, but also after this webinar, since we will send you an email with the recording of the session. So if you have missed anything, you can watch it and take all the information that you need, but also with the contacts of Católica Lisbon. So if you have any other questions that maybe also pop up in your mind later, you can do it by writing to the university. And of course, the team is always available. It's very kind, can answer to all your questions. And also you can watch the webinar, as I was mentioning before. Also, I would like to remind you that you can click in the link that I'm sending right now in the chat and request your certificate. And then I would like to, before we say goodbye, I would like to leave the floor to Margarita and Carolina if you have any message or any last minute recommendations before we say goodbye to the students.
The only thing I have to say is obviously thank you for coming and for assisting on our presentation. We here are our contacts, so you can see on the screen. You can send us an email, you can call us on the phone, you can send us on WhatsApp as well. And we also have the opportunity of doing online meetings on our website because we know sometimes it can be a stressful choice, or you're starting your application form and you're a little bit confused. So please feel free to contact us. We're always available to help. And all of our information is also on the website. Go check it out. But as I said, we're always here if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. And we also would like to just add that if you want to speak to any former students, any current students as well, you can do that through our website. I think it's always great to have a perspective of someone that's actually studied here and is having the experience. So, or you want to maybe talk to somebody else, you can reach out to us and we'll give you the contact of somebody for you to have a conversation about the program and about life in Lisbon. So just reach out if you'd like.
Thank you so much. So thank you again for being with us today. Thanks to the panelists and thanks to all the students connected. Of course, we hope to see you very soon. And I wish you a wonderful rest of the day from wherever you're connected from. So goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.